Okay, so we are on week 4 week 4 Q&A. So if you want to send me anything in the chat or hop on, I apologize, my voice is a little bit gone right now. Or if you want to hop on and let me know anything that you've been wondering, how things are going, how the trainings are going, any specific questions is what I'm here for. Dorian's been doing really well. He has been a lot more vocal. That's great. He's making more sounds. That's awesome. I'm so happy to hear that. Has he been making any consonant sounds? How has that been going? Some F sounds? That's great. That's huge. That's a really good sign. I'm happy to hear that he's been doing well and a lot more vocal. How did the sounds go this week? Our strategies that we talked about were the +1 rule, 1 to 5 word phrases, slowing your language down, and then the stretch strategy was providing choices. So how did those go? Was anything a little bit difficult? Did you have any specific questions for me? You didn't realize how fast you talk? Yeah, that's pretty common. It happened to me when I was in school, and it happens to most parents that I work with. So that's a very common thing. It's easy. It's easy to talk quickly. That's how we talk generally. So learning how to slow your own language down can make a huge impact, especially when it's a child who has difficulty making certain sounds or learning the language that we're teaching. It's a lot easier for them, and it goes a little bit better for them if we speak a lot slower so that they can have that time to really know where your mouth was, see where your mouth is going, see that repetition, hear that repetition. That's great. It's a common feedback I get. Good. Okay, so I definitely slowed down, and Dorian loves bubbles, so we did a lot of play with bubbles. That's great. I love bubbles too. I mean, who doesn't love bubbles? How did that go? What did you work on? Pop, up, and down. Good. That's perfect. And those are really good, easy. Down can be a little bit difficult, but not necessarily as it's not necessarily super difficult, but both pop and up would be good early sounds that we would hear out of kids, so that's great. Did he do any repetition with you? Did he copy any of your movements? Was he able to play for a little bit longer than he normally does? How did he do with it? Tried to get him to blow them, but he didn't like when I tried, so he started to get annoyed. Okay. Some like he wanted you to keep blowing them is what it sounds like? Okay. Yeah. Um, that's I mean, that's not untypical, especially if children really like seeing the bubbles. I have kids that all they wanna do is blow them, they don't want me to blow them. Other kids, they just want me to blow them and they don't wanna try. Maybe it's hard for them to blow them, or maybe they just don't want to. It really can be all different things, but so he did do the bubbles with you. Did he do it sounds like he was watching and playing with you, like, was he able to do it for a good amount of time, or did he, um, do any imitation of you, like, even of your actions or anything along those lines? Wow, we spent at least 15 to 20 minutes a day, he would bring the bubbles to me. That's amazing. That's a really, really good skill. He's showing you he's initiating play with you. He's initiating the start of a conversational activity, even though he might not be directly conversing with you. Oh, that's really cute. He would dip the wand in and give them to you. That's super cute. That's awesome. He's doing really good. Are those things that he would do before, or are those seeming like newer skills for him? Good. He newer skills. That's awesome. He would dip the wand in and give them to me. That's so cute. Well, there you have it. That is especially if he's doing it for that amount of time, multiple times in a week, that's huge. You found something that is incredibly motivating and fun for him, and it is you are getting that language and communication out of him by getting him to try to initiate the conversation with you, to try to initiate the play with you, um, that's really, really great. That's a great activity to build sounds and build some language around. So the fact that you're keeping with up and pop and down, perfect. The more fun you can make it and the more Mother Reese or like intonation you can provide in your voice, the better. That's really great. What else can you tell me about how things are going, or if you do you have any questions? So he does sign a few things like more, milk, yes. So I think he responds better to signs, but don't really know what else I could be doing. Okay. You mean just generally throughout the day, I'm assuming? Okay. So he signs more milk, yes. So, I mean, the general run of the mill is, yeah, you can definitely try more signs. That's a really great place to start, especially if that's something that he's doing really well with. Um, you can do this might be, I would have to double check myself, but I'm pretty sure bubbles is like flicking the fingers essentially. It's your middle finger. Bubbles is bubbles. That is hard for little hands to do, but sometimes I've seen them do something like this. Um, play is like this. You can do ready, set, go. Sometimes I'll do it with one hand. Go, go, go. Um, but you can also do you can build since he knows how to do more. That's a great one to start because it'll give him some success. So you could say, let's you start it off, you do ready, set, go, bubbles. And then you play with the bubbles, 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 and then you stop them. Stop. This is the sign for stop. 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 And then you wait and just hold them. And sometimes kids get frustrated, sometimes they might lose interest. But what we're looking for is for him to request to say more. And then you give him tons of praise for that. And then do more bubbles. So you're expanding him the one plus one rule. You're giving him an extra word, even though he may not imitate it yet. Um, but those are some easy things you can do. More bubbles, stop, and go are all great ones, and those are all appropriate words to practice with him too for speaking them as well as signing them. But yeah, sign does not, contrary to some belief, there is no sign language. Using sign language does not decrease the chance that a child's going to talk with their mouth. And it actually can increase their ability to understand and use more language. It can actually help support their language growth overall. So it's a great, great tool and nothing to worry about in terms of, oh no, he's only signing and not using words. But that would be a great one to do, especially if he loves the bubbles so much. Is there any other activities that he likes to do? Or activities, toys, etc.? Oh, that's perfect. He likes peeling different colored tape off the windows. So I say pull, peel, up, down. That's perfect. Look at you already. That is huge because that is something that is a very basic thing that can happen throughout the day, even though for him it might be more exciting and he likes that sensory touch or feel of that activity. And so he'll do it more repeatedly. Some kids will only do it once or twice, but that it shows to me that you're learning how to apply language and teach language in settings that might not be um I guess seen as like the best time for it in everybody's eyes, but in reality, I can build language around anything. If your child wants to sit with a box and never open it and just tap on it for an entire hour, I can work on language with him with that. We can do tap, we can do open, we can do close, We can say box a million times. There's plenty of things you can do, and you're starting to do that. I mean, if you can use pull, peel, up, down on just pulling tape off the windows, that's huge. Good for you. Congrats. That's awesome. But that's great. And something to keep in mind too is using those visual cues, but really trying to overemphasize the sounds that you're making. Pull. And so I pull, pull. And if he's not at the word level yet, that's a little bit hard for him. You can just even back it up from there and give him a part of that word. So pa, pa, pa. See if he'll imitate that. Does he imitate any of the actions? If you knock on the window, will he do that with you? But up, I'll go up, up, like really, really exaggerate the sounds and bring attention to your mouth. Maybe every time before you put the tape back on the window, you pull it off and maybe he wants it back. You say more, then you hand it back, or you pull it off, you keep the tape by your mouth and you say pull, pa, pa, pa. So the tape is close to your mouth, so it draws his attention over to your face a little bit more. And then you put it on and have him do it all over again. But yeah, remember that power of repetition too. Anything that you can make silly and repetitive and you can do with the same intonation can be beneficial as well. He will knock. That's great. Knock, knock, knock. Knock is a little bit also a harder word, but it's not, you're not going to do any damage in giving him a little bit of more difficult words. If you were talking to him all day long and all you were saying was Mississippi, I would tell you to back off a little bit and use easier words. But every now and then, words that are a little bit above their level that's not inappropriate, that actually can help them grow receptive language and how they understand. So that's great. Do you have any specific questions around those activities, or what are you really looking for from me? How can I support you? So he loves looking through books. He will bring them to me. So I try not to read them like I used to. I will point out things and try to see if he will say anything. Okay, great. That's awesome. So you're working on that dialogical reading, which is a huge plus. That's going to be really helpful for him. You can continue to try the repetition. So trying to bring in similar books and do the same thing over and over again. So when you get to a certain page, he knows what you're going to ask or do, so that it's easier. Everyone's more excited to raise their hand and give the teacher an answer if they are very, very confident that it's right and they know what's coming. So giving him the opportunity to see what's up ahead. After multiple times of reading that same book, he starts to understand that when mom turns the page, she says, turn page, and sometimes, and that becomes fun because they get to know that that's what's happening, and they get to show you that they understand that and know how to do it. So think about it like that too. It sounds like you're doing really great with it. You're pointing things out. See if he'll say anything. Don't forget to use the power of wait time. So if it's something that is repeated, turn page and then do it. Oftentimes I'll like start to do the action. So if I am doing turn page, I'll start to turn the page and I'll just look at them like, are you going to tell me what it is? I'm not going to ask them that, but I will just look at them expectantly to see if they will fill in the blank. Those are the things that for me personally, from my experience, takes a bit longer for a child to get to the point of doing consistently and doing sometimes at all, because they need a lot of repetition to fully understand what you're looking for before they go and do it themselves, from my experience. There's one that has the ABCs. And I've been saying A and the phonetics of them, so he will go to the F and say, "That's awesome." So he's learned how to. That's huge, and that's a difficult positioning of the mouth in comparison to a lot of other sounds. So that's a really great opportunity for you to do. One thing I would encourage you to try to do is bring a mirror. Some people will use like a phone camera or an iPad camera or something that has a mirror on a camera on it too, but I would highly recommend skipping that and using a mirror just so you prevent the attention going towards, now I want to play with this phone or whatever it is. But using a mirror in front of their face while you go through that ABC book and going F and like pointing to your mouth, B, ba, ba, B, and just see if he'll even attempt any of them. B, and then just like wait, look and see if he'll do it. Even if sometimes I have kids that they won't imitate the sound, but they'll try to do the action when they first start. So that's a good place to start too. But that's awesome. That's really, really great that he's starting to do the F sound. For some kids, like I said in the last training, my example of I forgot the kids. I put a different name in there for respect of their privacy and HIPAA, but I forgot what I named the little girl in my training. But the example was of a little girl that didn't. It was all grunting all the time until mom started doing the ABCs with her, and instead of doing ABC, she did phonetic ABC. So she would say ah, b, b, k, k, and go all the way through. And her daughter wound up really loving that, and that got her to do some babbling and vocal play, and that was how she kind of started to use more sounds. And as soon as she started doing that, we started seeing more words and more language attempts across the board. So yeah, that's great. Good. I'm glad. That's a really good one. And that's such an amazing thing to do, because while doing it in the book, he's gaining that literacy skill and that literacy awareness, phonemic awareness, like sound awareness, as well as just understanding the sound matches the letter. So many skills that are coming into play right there. So that's really great. That's really awesome. But I would one up you, and I would try to bring a mirror in and see if that helps him want to imitate even more. For some kids, the mirror makes it so much more fun for some reason. And it makes it easier because they all of a sudden can figure out how to actually manipulate their mouth to be able to make it look like yours. So you're sitting there like, bah, bah, holding your lips in place and seeing if they'll imitate you. That can help him. Good deal. I'm glad that that's going so well. That's awesome. Anything else you have for me? Any other specific questions or things, or like general inquiries of things you're looking for to help? No, that's it. Okay, great. All right, Chloe, we'll try those things out. I hope they're helpful. I'm glad that you came today. And I will hopefully see you tomorrow. We'll get our next training. We got 2 more to go. So if there's anything that occurs to you that's not covered tomorrow, I will have some time to edit the last training as well before we have it. So if there's anything that you're really looking to learn more about or want to have more information on, please let me know then so I can make sure that I include it in our last training as well. Because I want to make sure you feel like you got the comprehensive version of everything that you're looking for. But awesome. And then stay tuned to the Facebook page too. I am going to be looking for some general feedback and comments that from you guys to see how everything's been going. And those of you who can do something like that for me, I'll give you guys free access, or I haven't quite figured out what it'll be yet, but either another free resource or a discount on something. We'll see. But alrighty. Well, have a wonderful night. Thank you for coming. And I will see you tomorrow afternoon, hopefully. Otherwise, have a good week and I'll hopefully see you next Sunday. Okay.